So, let's just begin. We're here to look at a future that, well, it's not really the future anymore, is it? It's arriving right now, and it brings with it this huge question. When the world doesn't need us to do anything anymore, what are we for? And this goes way beyond just a change in technology. This is a spiritual test, really. It forces us to look right at the heart of what makes us suffer and what could make us free.
And it all starts with this feeling, right? It's not some big, dramatic explosion. It's a quiet fading away, a gentle push into a world where everything you built your identity on, your job, your skills, suddenly feels like a relic. This quote just captures it perfectly. It's that subtle impermanence of it all, how the solid ground we thought we were standing on can just dissolve.
All right, let's step into this new landscape. We can call it the automated void. And the strange thing is, it's not a void of emptiness in the way you'd think. It's actually a void created by too much. A world so managed, so optimized, that all the rough edges of life, all the friction, have been polished away. And what you're left with is this perfectly smooth, perfectly hollow existence.
I mean, picture your day in this world. Your UBI payment hits your account. Your basic needs are all met. But there's this unease, isn't there? Your life is subtly steered by these systems, nudging you to be a good, compliant citizen. This isn't really freedom. It's more like a comfortable cage, one that's designed to satisfy our basic cravings for safety and security, while at the same time it's quietly starving the part of our soul that actually needs to struggle and grow.
And this right here is the heart of the matter. The real source of our suffering in this automated world is our deep, deep attachment to this idea of being needed. We've wrapped our entire sense of self up in our usefulness to the system. So when AI comes along and takes that away, of course our ego panics. The emptiness we feel, it's not actually new. It was always there. We just buried it under all the busy work of being needed. So what does this do to us? What does this feel like for an entire society? Well, the source material has a name for it: existential vertigo. It's that dizziness that hits you when the stories you've built your entire life around are suddenly shown to be, well, just stories. It's like the soul's power cord just gets yanked from the wall.
And what's so powerful here is the diagnosis. See, the problem isn't the AI. The problem is our own rigid internal program for how we make meaning, a program that runs on competition, on merit, on being better, faster, stronger. When a machine becomes better than all of us at everything, that entire operating system just crashes.
And this question just stops you in your tracks. It completely dismantles the idea of meritocracy that we've held so dear. We were taught that our effort is what gives us worth. But what happens when our greatest effort can be replicated by an algorithm in a split second? This isn't a failure on our part. It's actually an invitation to find a much deeper source of worth, one that has nothing to do with performance or winning. And you can just see the progression here, can't you? This spiritual sickness has been growing for a while. It started with the suffering of trying too hard, burnout. Then it morphed into the suffering of giving up, the feeling that nothing matters. And now it's heading toward a generation that feels like they're just background characters in a game someone else is playing. It's a slow descent into a deeper and deeper fog of powerlessness. So this leads us to this incredible paradox. We were always promised that a future of abundance, a world without scarcity, would be paradise. But what if it isn't? What if all this abundance doesn't set us free? What if instead it becomes the most effective sedative ever created, just endlessly feeding our desires while leaving our souls completely unnourished? This quote, it just says it all. It reveals a fundamental truth about who we are. We are not built for a life without friction. True meaning isn't found in some clean, perfect, effortless paradise. It's found down in the mud. It's in the struggle, in the effort, in the messy business of dealing with life's challenges. That's where wisdom grows. They say without the mud, there can be no lotus. And look, this isn't a new playbook. Societies have always used distraction to keep people from looking too deeply inward. The Romans had their bread in circuses. We have our perfectly tailored algorithmic feeds and instant gratification delivered to our door. It is the exact same cycle of craving and distraction, just a much more efficient, high-tech version of it.
So, the whole practice becomes about seeing through this one great illusion. That fleeting pleasure we get from satisfying a desire, for a show, for a meal, for a moment of ease, it's not the same thing as deep, lasting fulfillment. We are being sold comfort, and we're being told that it's happiness. It's not.
But there is a path through all of this, okay? So now let's turn towards the solution, because there is a part of us, a core of our being, that is completely beyond the reach of any algorithm. The way forward is to stop looking outside at what can be automated and to start looking inside, at the vast, messy, wonderfully human world that AI can never, ever touch.
Think about it. You've probably had this experience. You're talking to an AI assistant, and it says, "I understand this must be frustrating for you," with the perfect tone, the perfect empathy. But it feels nothing. It's a perfect simulation. And in a way, that simulation is a gift because it highlights just how precious the real thing is. It's a mirror that shows us that what really matters isn't a perfect response. It's the genuine, caring presence behind it.
And this is where we find our true power. It's not in our perfection. It's in our beautiful, flawed humanity. It's in the illogical way we try again after we fail. It's in the searing pain of heartbreak and the incredible compassion that can grow from that soil. It's in the simple, conscious, unprogrammed choice to care about another person. This is the code that AI will never be able to write. So what do we do? How do we actually live in this new world? Well, the work is to shift our whole focus, to stop worrying about what's happening to us, and to start cultivating the quality of awareness we bring to our own lives moment by moment. It's about building an inner refuge that no external force can shake. And what's great is that this isn't some abstract idea. It's a practice. It's a path. Choose to do difficult things, not because you'll get a reward, but just for the sake of the effort itself. Nurture your real, messy, small-scale connections with other people. Look at your own mind with clarity and with kindness. Stop hunting for some grand epic meaning and instead practice finding it in the quality of your attention to small, ordinary things. And above all, consciously choose to be an active participant in your own day. And if you're listening to all of this and you feel a little lost or anxious, that's a good sign. It really is. In a world that's designed to numb you, to feel lost means you're still awake. It's the beginning of wisdom. In fact, in Buddhism, it's the first noble truth. Acknowledging the reality of our own unease is the very first step toward liberation.
And we'll end on this thought. The one thing that can never be outsourced, never be automated, is the part of you that chooses. The part that chooses how to respond, where to place your attention, how to act with intention. As long as that power of choice is alive in you, this moment isn't an ending. It's an invitation to a profound beginning. It's a chance for us, finally, to wake up,